You're like, okay, God, where are you at? And what are you doing? I think a lot of times we get caught up in ourselves and what we need to do to make things happen. And everything's not all about us. It's not all about us. So we have to go through these waiting periods. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Daily Checkup where I'm just checking on you. Today we'll be talking about waiting on God. I wanted to talk about this because I believe a lot of people may not necessarily know that God has a plan for their life. And so if you don't know, then that means you're not asking Him. So how will you know if you never ask or if you don't know to ask? And if we reject His plan, we'll never know what He has for us in this life, which could lead to a bigger disaster. Waiting on God is not easy at all. From my experience, even now, like there's a lot of things that I am waiting on God to do in my life. And sometimes there's days where you're excited, you have the spirit of patience all over you and you're calm. But then sometimes you have days where you're like, okay, God, where are you at? And what are you doing? And I just want to encourage you all that it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to talk to God and tell God, confess to God what your feelings are about a current situation. I don't know what some of you are waiting on, whether it's a promotion, a job, a relationship, a spouse, I'm not sure. But trust that God's timing is always the best timing. His timing works with His plan. Those two things work together. A lot of times you feel like, okay, God, nothing's happening though. What are you wanting me? What am I doing? What do you want me to do right now? And that's okay. You just pray and you just ask God, God, what is your will for me today? What should I be doing in the process of waiting? And that could have a lot to do with praying more, preparing for what's to come. There might be things you need to perfect in the meantime in yourself. A lot of times we think we're ready for things, but God knows all and He sees that she's not ready for this. If I give it to her now, she's gonna mess it all up. And it's so true. Like I can think back to the past and think of some things that maybe I might have got a little bit too soon before I understood the value. And it has helped me to look at things differently today and just have faith in God, trusting that He knows what I need and He knows when I need it. Everything that you're going through, God can see. He sees and He knows. He sees you at night crying. He sees you praying. He sees you calling out for His help. But it is very important that everything happens in His timing because we want God's best. He can give us some things quickly. It might not be right. Let's look at Psalms 27:11-14. Teach me your way, Lord. Lead me in a straight path because of my oppressors. Do not turn me over to the desire of my foes. For false witnesses rise up against me, spouting malicious accusations. I remain confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. David's asking at the end of Psalms for God to do two things. He says, teach me your way and lead me on a level path. He's asking God for a map, a guide of directions throughout life. There's nothing that we'll go through in this life that we cannot find the answer in the Holy Bible. Everything in life, from the ratchetness to whatever it is, no matter how bad, how crazy, how good, however, there are answers to every little thing in the Bible. Sometimes in life, things can feel like a big delay. I'm going through it right now where things seem so delayed in a lot of different areas in my life. But we know that it's really to give us exactly what God has planned, because God's plan is going to be the best. I also want to say that even if you've stepped into something and you feel like you're out of alignment with God, that you're not going in the direction that He would want you to go, God will redirect you. All you have to do is pray and ask Him to. Say, Lord, align me with you. Change my heart towards you. Put me on your path. Order my steps, Lord Jesus, and He'll do it for you. He's not a God that's gonna say it's too late for you. As long as there's breath in your body, you still have another chance to pray and ask God to change your heart and guide you in the direction that He wants you to go, which is gonna be the better thing that you could do. So whether you're in a season of suffering, disappointment, you're going through hurt, it's all a part of the plan. And remember that God knows exactly how much you can handle. So while you're in this waiting season, He is steady getting you ready and prepared to be able to handle whatever it is you're waiting on. He could be working on your character, your heart, your spirit, skills. It could be anything that He's trying to work out and develop you, so that whatever you're waiting on, once you step into that season, it can be a success. There's nothing on this earth that's gonna be bigger and better than God's plan for you, because God's plan is perfect. Nobody can top it. I think a lot of times we get caught up in ourselves and what we need to do to make things happen, and everything's not all about us. It's not all about us. So we have to go through these waiting periods in order for God to develop the character in us, change our hearts towards Him, and use us, whether that's to help other people or to humble us. It's all needed. And all of this preparation is what's going to help us to walk successfully in His plan. There's going to be hard days, but I promise you, if you just stick it out and hold on tight, things will change. Just keep the faith and meditate on your faith scriptures. Actually, I have a book coming out that's gonna have, it's a devotional, and it's gonna have 100 faith scriptures that you can read each day and write out your prayers. So I have that coming out. Right now, I have my Faith Walk prayer journal that's out right now on Amazon. That link will be in the description. But feeding yourself every day with the Word will help you to believe the Word, because the more and more you're reading it, and I recommend reading it out loud, it's going to get in your heart and you're gonna believe it. And that's what we want, because I want to see you doing your best in life. I don't want to see you settling for less in any area. Allow God to guide you. Take some time out and just listen to what He's saying, and make sure you let your girl know, because when you guys tell me about your testimonies and where God's brought you from, or a waiting season you were in, it also helps me too. Well, I hope this has blessed you today. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel, and if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that button. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.